Yes, so welcome back to the Gaming Pantry, everybody. This is the Retro Bear speaking to you from the depths of the pantry, surrounded by plastic tat, as we refer to it. Hope you're all well. Nice to be back here again. If you can see that, so I believe I'm wearing a white t-shirt, which probably isn't the best thing to do. We're actually watching, or sort of watching, Super Chase HQ, running off the Xbox for the SNES. Yeah, a game I've never actually played, but I was trying to find a game which would run in the background, and that was the only one that, after about 5 or 6 games I checked, appeared to be working and does something other than just sort of sit there. So if you can see that, great. If you can't see it, don't worry, you're not missing a great deal. Yeah, so great to be back, and we've got a pickups video this time, which is really unusual because I've done absolutely no pickups. Car problems. Most of you who watched my last pickups video 3-4 weeks ago would know I'm in problem with my car. Yes, ongoing problems. So much so that I've had the car back now since week last Thursday. I can't remember what the date was. No, I can't remember. But it went to the garage, got repaired, then went faulty the following day, then seemed to work okay for a couple of days, then went faulty again. I then took it to my mechanic. Sorry, I took it to my works mechanic after my mechanic had a go at it. I then took it to my works mechanic, and he had a look at it, and he then changed another part. It seemed to work okay for 4 days, and then it stopped working again. So I took it back in. It was then away for a week, and after about 3 days of what they say, vigorous testing, they found no further faults with it, and since then it's been fine. And I did go out yesterday on game hunting, and it worked absolutely fine. I was able to problem is with the key turn goes in, you turn the key on, all the electrics come on, and then the little immobiliser light should come on and say the engine's immobilised. That wasn't happening, and it's going to be a breaking connection. So anyway, 350 quid later. Having said that, had it been the electronic unit, it'd probably been about £800 to repair it, in which case we'd have been possibly looking at a new car. Yeah, because I haven't got a new car. I'm not one of these people with new cars. The car goes from A to B. That's all it does. So yeah, it was a bit of a tough time. So basically, people from work had to keep dropping me to and from work, which is really strange. One of my engineers kept for about a week and a half, sort of picked me up, and one of the girls in the office in the evening took me home. So it was nice being ferried around, but it was really frustrating because 3 weeks in a row wasn't able to get out and do anything. And then when I did get out yesterday, for the first time in goodness knows how long since my last pickups video, it was nothing, absolutely nothing. I didn't even go to the independent game shop round by me, Vintage Gamer, etc., because I was just so demoralised, having not been out for 3 weeks. There's got to be something this week. I mean, yes, there were. I mean, I did see a copy of Minecraft on the 360 in a charity shop, which was £2, which I know if you take it to CEX, they'll give you £7 for it. Well, I've already got Minecraft, and I thought, well, if there's 3 or 4 games like that, that's worth picking them up, but I'm just going to go and trade in one game at CEX for £7, when there's nothing in CEX I wanted to buy anyway. Some of you may remember that golf game I showed about a month ago, my personal golf trainer, which I mentioned at the time CEX was flooded with copies of this game, which at one point was quite rare to find. Now that they're selling it at £3, I bought mine. What did I pay for mine? I think I paid £3.99 for mine, or I can't remember. It's at £3 anyway now. Even cash converters have realised that they're selling it for too much. They've dropped their price to £2.99. I count on the CEX website yesterday. There's about 125 copies of that game across CEX stores. Most of them here in my part of the Midlands. Absolutely bonkers. And the big CEX in Dudley, I don't know what's going on with that at the moment, but they've had to push all their stock down the far end because they've not got enough. There's now a massive space as you walk into the shop, where there used to be those sort of mobile sort of units they used to put in all the DVDs on. They've all been moved to the back of the shop. So you've got a small section of games around the outside. So you've got like you got Blu-rays down this side, then you've got PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Vita, PSP, Switch, GameCube, then Wii in the corner. Not literally, PlayStation 2 as well, Wii in the corner, and then you've got Xbox 360, and it goes on Xbox One, and then the PlayStation 4, all the way back to the door. And you've got sort of like 5, 6, 5 to 8 of these mobile, these sort of like stands move around of DVDs, and that is it. They've got this massive space there, so they've got no stock whatsoever. There's no games coming, especially when you've got to give the Wii a wall to itself. No other place I can see it. The other CX are going to be really, really small ones, got like a tiny section. That's all they got now. It's shocking. It really is. I'm guessing it's a result of people just hoarding stuff. Got to be. It's got to be. No one's. Strangely, given how the prices are at the moment, no one seems to be selling stuff because they don't have any stock. Everyone is either buying it or they're not buying it. And we discussed this on the podcast briefly last week. Get that link in there. At some point, there's going to be a tipping point. There's going to be a tipping point at some point. Either no one's going to go pay the prices that the games are going up to, and believe me, they're going to stupid prices, and everybody's going to hold on to what they've got, and there's going to be no gap, and all of a sudden the whole thing's just going to go. It's going to crash again. It's going to be the opposite of 1983. When the market crash, there was too many games on. It's going to crash now because there's too little games out there. It's just going to stop. The game market will be dead. No one will want to buy it. If you've got games, hold on to them. If you're going to start a collection now, I wouldn't bother. That would be my advice. Don't bother. Seriously. It is not worth it. Not worth it. Anyway, rant over. Hope you're all well. Anyway, thank you very much for coming back. David's still here. I must take that down. Or photocopy it en masse and duplicate it and send it to everybody I know. And get a bird still in every house. So what have we got here? Well, we ain't got very much. We got 4 donations, 1 purchase, and a DVD. Why am I showing you a DVD? Because I've got nothing else to show you. This would be the world's shortest video otherwise. It really would be. So what have I got? So ages ago, I can't remember how long ago it was now. It's been months. I've forgotten about this. I had a sort of message through Discord. Do you remember Discord? That used to be a popular thing a few weeks ago. No one seems to be using it. I haven't been on there in ages. You have tried to contact me on Discord. I had not been on there for ages, so that explains why you're not really get hold of me. I'm a very, very elusive person when it comes to getting hold of on stuff like social media because I just don't do it. So I got a message, and then a few weeks afterwards, I replied to the message and got offered some discs from Game's Own Bird Room. I usually say that we're doing the impression, but I forgot to do it this time. And James got in contact with me, and he said, because I've shown a lot of stuff which I'm running off my emulator. I've got an Xbox which is emulated disc in there, and that's what's running in the background. And he said, I've got some discs you might be interested in, which you can get running on that. I thought, fantastic, what do you want for them? He said, no, I'm useful. He said, send them through. So what I've got here is some discs. Remember these discs? Yeah. So what have we got? There's all sorts in here, actually. I've had to do a bit of research on this as well, because it wasn't quite apparent. I thought they were Xbox stuff, but on more research, and there wasn't a note in there, so I'm guessing they've got no paper in Scotland where he lives now. Shortage of paper or something. But we've had a quick look at this, and we've actually found out what they are. So anyway, we've got a Mega Drive emulator. We've also got a Neo Geo Emu. So again, that's going to be... Now I think from initial inspections, these possibly are just the emulators. But I don't know, Mrs. Bears had a quick look at these, and she did tell me, and I've forgotten. She's just come up the stairs, and she might be listening to this, so she'll tell me off afterwards, forgetting what I've been told. This is an N64 one called Surreal 64. Now, I don't think I haven't got a decent N64 emulator. I did have one ages ago, but it was alright, but not great. I was able to play things like Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64, no problem at all, but something just wouldn't run on it. There's also a disc here full of retro games, which I understand's got loads of stuff on there. And she has put these onto the computer for me, so I can have a look at them in more detail. And then there were these 4 discs as well, 5 discs, sorry, which look like they're game files. Now, I thought initially when James sent them to me, they were Xbox. And then looking at the titles of these, I thought, these aren't Xbox. These are PlayStation 2. They're not. They're PSP, which is great because I haven't got a PSP to play them on. And in fact, it does actually say PSP on here. I've just realised that after weeks of staring at these. I wonder what these discs are. This is a PlayStation, it's got PSP. So we got FIFA Soccer, NBA, Major League Baseball. There's an SSX game on there as well. You might just be able to read that. There's some on there. We've got Darkstalkers Chronicle, Frogger Helmet Chaos, more baseball, Namco Museum Battle Collection, Ridge Racer and Tiger Woods. And again, these are PSP games. So there's again duplicate games on this one. I know it has got Tocker Race Driver and Virtua Tennis on this one as well. There are some duplications on here. Spider-Man 2, Twisted Metal Head On, Untold Legends, Wayne Gretzky Wipeout Pure as well on that one. So I'm going to requires me to do some research on this. And then Ape Academy Bleach Heat, DTM Race Driver Dynasty Warriors, Everybody's Golf Fired Up Lumines, Metal Gear Solid Acid 2, and again Untold on that one. So quite a lot of games on there. Those are PSP or the PSP, PlayStation Portable, ROM type things. So once I find out how to use it, because Mrs. Bear has been on the internet and has got me a printed sheet, so I can now, providing I can devote some time to reading them and learning out how they work and actually getting to work, which would be great. Because I've got some time off this week. I'm off work this week, so I'm very happy to be able to do that. So thrilled. So thank you very much, James. Sorry it's taken me so long to get round to saying thank you properly in video, but that'll be great, and I shall have a play around with that and see how we get on. Shall we do the DVD next before we do some more gaming stuff? Yes, DVD. As people know, I've got a VHS collection which I've started displaying on the internet, and I've also got a massive DVD collection. I'll say massive, it's not as big as it used to be, it's a lot smaller. But there's a lot of stuff now and I want to show it off. Why do I want to show it off? Because I've got no gaming content now. And I'm interested in doing it. I know people would be interested in seeing what sort of DVDs and things that I've got, because that's the sort of most important thing really, to get content onto YouTube and people can watch. And I think there's some stuff that'll be interesting. I've got loads of different sort of categories as well, which is so I want to sort of share with people, and you'll be surprised. And I hope interested with what's in there. So that'll be coming over the next few weeks or so. But I bought this anyway. Now the reason I bought this is because I'm a massive fan of this franchise. Always have been, ever since I was a kid. And so I picked this up. It's the Muppet Show Season 2, the original Muppet Show from the 70s. Now I've already got Seasons 1 and 3. I've only got the Season 3 one is actually the not big box release. It's sort of the thing. Well, the first one's the big box release. This one, and this was brilliantly shit. It cost me on about £6.50 off eBay, including postage. It was brilliantly shit because whoever shipped this had basically sort of, they had cut the box open and flat packed it. So when it arrived, it was all in flat pack form. So the DVDs were laid out as 4x4, and then that was sort of disassembled. Now there's no gluing involved, so it all went back together. But a great way for somebody to save postage and get it out quickly. But also as well, Miss Piggy's eye's got a bit of a glitter effect, which you probably can't see on that there. But yeah, so I'm just absolutely thrilled to have this one. They only released the first 3 series on DVD, if I remember correctly. The rest you can watch them on Disney Plus now. But of course, some of the episodes are edited for music and some questionable humour. The Chris Langham episode is missing completely. I think the Spike Milligan episode is missing completely as well. I'd like to see why that one's missing, knowing what Spike Milligan was like. But this one's got Peter Sellers in it. It's got John Cleese, special guests. I'm not going to sit down and read all the guests out. Bob Hope, George Burns. So some real classic entertainers from the golden age of entertainment on here. And I'm a massive fan of the Muppets, so for me, perfect thing. So I like £6.50. Great, that was. Not too difficult to pick up these. You can probably get the whole set for about 15 quid. If you like the Muppets. If you don't like the Muppets, then not your sort of thing. No more DVDs. So that's the last one. That's the only one I've got this one. See, while we sort of not got a lot to show you. Stop saying sort of. Next, a couple of things were dropped through my letterbox, matron, a couple of weeks ago. Once again, it's a big thank you to my friend Retro Kit, John, who lives reasonably close to where I do. I'm not sure where he lives now, he's moved. I've not know where his new gaff is, but anyway. I'm in reasonable contact with John, at least probably a couple of times a week anyway. And he just sort of sent me a message saying, I've got some, because he's finished his 360 collection now, he's completed it, I think, unless he's still missing a few Kinect games. But he got in contact and said, are you interested in having some of these 360 games? And I went through them all and I thought, trying not to collect 360 games because I've got nowhere to put them. My 360 collection has sort of amassed its capacity at the moment. I'm not saying I won't go back to it ever again, but I just can't keep adding to it with no space. But there was one game I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind that one. So I've said I love that, and he also said I've got some hit squads as well. Yeah, hit squads. Hey, yeah, I'm not collecting hit squads. No, but these are for the Commodore 64. No, not the Spectrum. If you watch my videos on collecting, I haven't been collecting. I've been amassing. Get the word right, amassing Spectrum hit squads. But I've already got a amassed collection of Commodore 64 ones from ages ago. Now I did buy one last couple of months. I bought a couple of monks recently now. I bought one a couple of months ago from Richard at Old School Gaming in Brierley Hill. He had a copy of Terminator 2. And that's the first Commodore 64 hit squad I bought for a long time. These two, however, John said, oh, I've got these as doubles, you can have them. And I thought, I'll just check what he got. I think he only had 3. And of the 3 he got, I'd already got one of them. So anyway, so the game he sent me on the 360 is this one. I'll just get a bit of paper off the front there, and it's Silent Hill Homecoming. I think goes for a few quid, but it's got the manual and everything, as I would expect with John. And it's also got one of those inside covers as well. It's got the manual. You go in there, as I would expect with John, being a collector, everything's in there. Very, very nice. It is a cash converters copy. I think he's had that at Starbridge when they were open because their labels were always terrible, and that's the back of the box anyway. So yeah, so I had that one, but all the games I'd either got or I wasn't interested in. But that one I thought, I haven't got many Silent Hill games in my collection at all. I think I've got, this might be the first one actually. This may well indeed be the first Silent Hill game I've got. Yes it is. I thought I might have the PlayStation 1, no. PlayStation 2, I ain't gonna have any of them, they're ridiculously expensive at the moment. No PlayStation 3 games. No, this is the first one I've got. There we go. So first Silent Hill game, Silent Hill Homecoming. I have seen the first film with Sean Bean in it. That was a weird film, that was. Weird film. But I remember playing the demo on the PlayStation 1 and being intrigued. But survival horror is not my thing at all. And then the two Hit Squad games which he sent me, I don't think I've got either of these on the Spectrum either. No, I think I might have got one on the Spectrum now. I don't think I had at the time. This is obviously in the wrong box because it doesn't fit properly. So we've got Short Circuit, which was after a film. I'm going to remember this was like this was over 30 years ago. There was a film in 1987, I think, called Short Circuit about a robot. It was sort of like E.T. but with a robot. And there was a sequel as well called Short Circuit 2. You see there, I just realised that actually there's a ridge. You can see it there. There's a gap there, so it's the wrong box. But anyway, there's the back of the box. If I remember, it was a reasonably reviewed game. There is some blurb on the back, which I can't read at the moment, which I should now try and read. Crash said it was one of the best film licenses for ages. Amsterdam Action said it was excellent. Doesn't say anything about the Commodore 64 version. That's that one anyway. So I hadn't got that one. And the other one I've got, which I'm really surprised I hadn't got on the Commodore 64 at all. I'll have to change the box because we've got some labels that are stuck. I'll clear the labels off one or two. And it's Afterburner. How could you not have a copy of Afterburner? One of the great arcade games of the 1980s. Not such a good game on the Commodore 64. At all. It has to be says. Says, even. There we go. So, not a great game on the 64. And very few good versions of Afterburner. It was probably... Well, it was the unconvertible at the time. I've got Afterburner 2 on the Mega Drive, which is probably about as close as we could probably get to a decent conversion of that. I know there was the Sega Ages one on the Mega CD and the Saturn one and the one that was stuck in Shenmue, and there was the other one remake a few years back on the PlayStation 3 Xbox, which was download. That's an Xbox 360, I think it was. Might have been a PlayStation. I think it was download only, which you can't get now. But yeah, best way to play that game is off emulation, the original arcade game. But we come to the coup de grace. The reason we're all here today, because it's not because of, well, I don't know, that might be your thing. I mean, there's Hit Squads, there's a 360 game in there, Muppets are in there. I mean, all love the Muppets, don't we? So anyway, I was on eBay. Yes, that old chestnut. And I was just poking around, and occasionally I just go down a rabbit hole and start typing stuff into eBay. And then I start typing other stuff into eBay gaming related and see what comes up. And lo and behold, this got my attention. I thought, oh, that seems quite good. And it was on one of these sort of offers. And I you know, unless it's like a straight auction or a stupidly agreeable buy it now price, I don't get involved in making offers for stuff. Perhaps I should do. But I tend to offer people under what they're, I say under what they're selling it for. It's like someone's got an auction going, they start the auction at 10 quid, I tend to sort of offer less than that. And I think that probably doesn't go down very well. But if it's a buy it now, you can always offer less than that. That's exactly what, this was up for a buy it now. And I looked at it, I thought there's a bit of cosmetic damage to it. But I thought, well, I'll offer under it and see what happens. And lo and behold, I got this. So for the sum of 30 quid, including postage, we picked up this on the Wii. And it's the Xenoblade Chronicles, yes. And this is the edition with the classic controller in it. So there we go. So yeah, as you can see, you're probably looking around the top of the box now, which is up there. And if I go over there, particularly up there, there's a bit of scuffing around the edges. To be honest with you, that's about it. The seal is still on the bottom, so they haven't tried to tamper with that. It's very clean at the top. It's just this one corner here, which I think possibly, on the advice I've been given, will iron out, and also I can glue that back on as well. So in actuality, it'll look like a reasonably not say well worn, reasonably stored copy of the game. Now, on the inside, it's great. I'm not going to try and get too much of this out, because what I did, we spent ages trying to put it all back together again. But what have we got in here? Well, we have the classic controller instructions, and they look like they haven't been opened, which is great. We have the world's thickest supplementary manual. This is the foreign instructions, which comes on its own in the book, in the box. Okay, you may think, well, hang on, where's the foreign instructions? Where are the English instructions? Well, they're in here. This is the game. There we go. And they're all in there as well. The instructions are in there. There's also one of those Wii guides as well, so everything is in here that should be in here. The disc, I've got to say, the disc is, apart from 2 fingerprints on it, is absolutely immaculate. So I'm not sure whether it's been played a great deal. That's the back of the box, which isn't going to tell you a huge amount, because this is the boxed version. I'll just show you the back of the actual box. There we go. See that one there. Those are the details. Tells you what you get on the side, and I think it's repeated. No, it's not. And then the other side just tells you a bit more about the game. Now, it's one of these collector's editions which gets very, very sought after, and this is where the classic controller comes to. I'm loath to get all this out because it took us forever to get it back in again, and I don't want to do that. But I will say this: the controller is not the best. I'm a bit disappointed with the controller. So there is the controller. It's a bit scruffy. You can just maybe just see. Can you see there? Possibly. Just trying to finger point it. Yes, some, I'll say teeth marks, but there appears to be. Oh, it's rubbed off. Yeah, it's just a little bit. There is some scuff in there, and there's a bit of scratching across the back, but it's not massively. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not massively damaged. Everything about it seems fine. The buttons seem fine. It might just be dirt, actually. Possibly. Yes, it might just be a bit of dirt and grime that needs rubbing off, a good clean up with it. But yeah, I think it's in pretty good condition. I wouldn't say it's as nice. My Golden Eye Gold controller looks in much better condition than that one. But I think for 30 quid postage, I think that's not too bad. If you wanted to buy that off CX at the moment, I think if they've got a copy on, which they did have last time I looked, because I was comparing prices, I think they want about 40 quid for it. So I think that's not a bad price to pay. And they would ask you for postage on top of that as well, wouldn't they, being CEX? So you're probably looking around about £42 postage. So I think this is a pretty good. I think that was a pretty good package, and I was very lucky to find that. It's one of those cases where you sort of end up being in the right place at the right time. And I was, so that's great. So I was really happy to pick that one up. So there's just the last story to go now, I think, in that trilogy. And that's going to be a real pain in the arse, because that one's about 100 quid at the moment. And I paid 50 for Pandora's Tower, and I paid 30 for the Xenoblade Chronicles. So I'm going to be paying more than that for the last story, unless I get lucky. Have to see. Anyway, that is the pickups. As you can see, not a lot. But it's been fun doing that, and I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully there'll be more next time. I don't know. I'm not doing... I'm off work this week. I may go out a couple of times during the week to see what's out there. Maybe try a midweek game hunt to see if anything's going on. But I'm not holding my breath. I must be honest with you. I'm not holding my breath. This is the sort of stuff at the moment going on that makes me think... I mentioned it before, whether I've sort of hit my... where I want to be collecting wise, and might just not bother going out picking any more stuff up unless it's an absolute bargain. And I'm just walking around, just looking at stuff. I'm not going out for anything particular. That's the one good thing about it. I'm not going for anything particular. I'm just looking for things that might interest me. And if I find them, great. If I don't, which is happening all the time, I'll come away with nothing. So I don't spend anything, which is good. Having said that, that loss probably cost about 40 quid, but there we are. In the meantime, thank you very much indeed for watching. If you have enjoyed that, please do that. Thumbs up, like the video, share it, comment. Please comment. Always good to hear from people if they enjoyed the content and anything they can tell me about the stuff I've got. And also don't forget to tick that notification bell for more videos when they go up. In the meantime, this is the Retro Bear saying thank you very much indeed for your company. Do take care out there, people. Do take care. We'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.